Hello, beautiful seekers. This is Clarity 1129. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. It is a general reading and may not resonate with everybody. It is also a timeless reading. Today's reading is about trying relationships. Can they be saved? What can you do to save them? And is it worth saving? There are a number of readings which talk about your finding out about your energies, their energies, whether you're in separation. But there are some relationships, where you talk about on and off relationships, or someone's ghosted you, or you are together but there's a lot of fighting. There is love, but there's a lot of fighting. Sometimes it's a third party situation. So whatever the situation might be, if you're in a rocky relationship and you want to know about it, whether you can salvage the relationship, then this reading is for you. I sincerely hope that these readings can help you, give you some clarity and guidance so that your life, my dear seekers, is a lot smoother and happier, and for the benefit of both of you. So without further delay, let's get into the readings. As you can see, there are 4 piles. Pile number 1 is with the 5 of Cups. Pile number 2, the 5 of Wands. Pile number 3, the 5 of Swords. Pile number 4, the 5 of Pentacles. I know looking at these cards, no one will want to choose a pile, but basically when you talk about 5, you're talking about strife. You're talking about things not being okay. And one of these will resonate with your present situation. So take a deep breath, and whichever pile you're instinctively drawn to, that is your pile. We'll start with pile number 1. Those who chose the 5 of Cups. Pile number 1 is with the original Rider-Waite Tarot. At the end of the reading, we have an advice card from the Moonology deck. We'll first put down the cards. This card depicts your role or your contribution to this relationship. This card talks about their role and their contribution to this relationship. What you did, what you didn't do, and what they did and what they didn't do, which is causing this problem. This card is an advice card for you, what you can do to heal the relationship and to improve the relationship. This card is an advice card for them, what they can do to contribute to the healing and improvement of the relationship. This card talks about outside influences outside your partnership. This could be friends, family, maybe distance, whatever it is, we'll find out from here. This card is whether this relationship can be saved, whether you can, whatever the problems are, after you've put in all this effort, can you actually rebuild in such a way that things are like, go back to what they were, or even better than that. And this last card is it really worth saving? After all this effort and everything, at the end of the day, if you salvage this relationship, will you both be equally happy? And will it be for your ultimate good. This card tells you that. So we begin. This is your contribution to the relationship. This is Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card which talks about deception. It could be that you've cheated on your partner, or it could just be, it doesn't have to be something like cheating on your partner big time, cheating on the relationship, but it could be that you have been dishonest in some way or the other, and you've been found out, and that is what's caused a problem in this relationship. They get the Sun card. The Sun card is a very positive card. So maybe they are overly optimistic and happy-go-lucky, and maybe you feel that they are happy in this relationship and they are always, and everything is going for them in this relationship, but maybe you're not getting so much, and so, and they're only bothered about making themselves happy, and you are not getting that kind of happiness, and that is why you cheated. That could be a possibility. What is the advice for you? King of Wands. The King of Wands is a king who is warm, who's compassionate, who has a great amount of foresight. So what you need to do is to take a look at the larger picture. That is this person, is your partner happy because he wants to be happy anyway? He's trying to make you happy, but maybe you're not seeing it. Maybe you need to talk about your real feelings to him a little more. Maybe you have been dishonest for some reason, for something. Instead of telling him or confiding in him or her, you have chose to find a solution on this lie, and you have to get past it. So maybe you could start with an apology and just look at the larger picture. You know, finding faults and blaming one another can never get a solution. Advice for them is the Four of Pentacles. It basically talks about someone who keeps their cards close to their chest. So maybe they are very happy, but they don't share what's happening in their lives with you so much. Maybe they're not being deceptive, but maybe they're the kind of person who doesn't talk about their problems to you, and they only show you a happy demeanor at all times, which doesn't come across as very truthful, or you feel that, you know, you're telling them things maybe, or maybe it's because you feel that they don't tell you anything that you have resorted to this deception. So the advice for them is that they should open out and not keep you in the dark either. Maybe they be a little warmer with you and let you into what's happening in their lives as well. Outside influences, you get the Death card. The Death card talks about transformation. It's Scorpio energy. With this, I just feel that maybe whatever's causing disharmony in your relationship has possibly got your partner to transform and has made him or her very happy because of this transformation, while you haven't been able to transform. That is a possibility, that maybe this someone who's influenced one or the other person, because of which one or the other has transformed while the other one's left behind, and that is possibly an influence. Can this relationship be saved? You get the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is that this relationship has been a huge burden for both of you. because whatever your problems are, they've gone unresolved for a very long time. I think you've been carrying on in this state without communicating, and sometimes, in fact most of the times, the biggest barrier or the biggest hurdle in every relationship is lack of communication. When communication between the partners is not effective, that's when deception plays its role here. One person moves on, leaving the other one behind. All that happens because of this. Can this be saved? Will depend on how willing both of you are to come across, talk to each other, be absolutely open. You confess all that's happened, whatever you've done, if you've cheated or if you've lied in the past, you come clean and you talk about why you did what you did and what you expect from your person, and your person has to do that the same thing. The person, when it's possible in a relationship when one person is doing really well career wise and his or her life is going smooth while the other person is left behind, and it's always the person who feels left behind who faces this Five of Cups energy, who feels left out and who feels that it's all gone and it's all lost. But if you are both willing to get past these energies of yours, then you can save the relationship. Let me take a look. Wow, see, the last card, whether it's worth saving, you get the Ace of Pentacles. And Ace of Pentacles talks about new beginnings, something solid. So if you both are willing to be open to one another, to see one another's perspective on things, to be absolutely honest, then you can finally put down this burden relationship that's been extremely burdensome for you. You can actually make it a very beautiful relationship. There's a great opportunity for you here, which talks extremely positively that you can actually, it is worth working on this relationship. That this tells me that there is definitely energy left in this relationship, and if you it's just one a bad time that you're facing, may have been for quite some time, but it's not something that you cannot resolve. Your advice card from the Moonology deck is New Moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So this is what you need, to be benevolent towards each other. Give each other warmth, give each other love, give each other understanding. I always say that in a marriage or in any relationship, people only talk about love. But I believe that for a relationship to work, number one is trust, number two is mutual respect, and number three is love. I'm not undermining love, but it's very important that you trust one another and that there is mutual respect for one another. And for that, you need to have equal give and take. So if both of you come into this energy of wanting to give, then you will be giving and receiving equally. And so that's all I have for you, pile number one. It's the reading ends with an Ace of Pentacles, so you definitely this relationship is worth saving, and you do have a second chance, and things will work out in your favor if you're willing to adjust. So I just hope you find your happiness soon, and whatever your relationship issues are, they get sorted out soon. And with that, we go to pile number two, those who've chosen the Five of Wands. This is the Mystic Monday tarot deck, and we have two advice cards for this group from the Moonology deck. This card represents your contribution or your role in this relationship, what you did or you didn't do to make it the way it is today. This is their contribution, your person's contribution, what they did or didn't do in this relationship that's contributed to your current situation. This is an advice card for you, what you can do to heal the relationship and improve it. This is an advice card for them, what they can do to heal this relationship and improve upon it. This is outside influences, friends, family, where you are, and other things that which is outside your partnership, apart from the two of you, what is affecting this relationship. This card talks about whether you can save this relationship, and the last card is whether it's worth saving this relationship. If if you rebuild on this relationship, is it worth it? Will it make both of you happy? There's no point in having a relationship with only one person is going to be happy and the other person is just compromising. Then it's not worth it. So we begin. We begin with the Three of Cups for your energy. The Three of Cups could talk about a third party situation. Maybe there is someone else you are seeing with. Maybe you're seeing the person you're seeing. You may not be in a relationship. Maybe it's just flirting, but it's something which possibly your partner does not like. In their contribution toward the relationship is the Knight of Pentacles. Maybe you're a person who likes fast moving energy, and maybe your partner appears to be a little slow for you. I mean, whatever affection he has for you, or whatever your expectations are, maybe he doesn't meet them the way you want to. Maybe you want someone who's a little more say flamboyant, flashy, fast, quick, and maybe this person thinks a lot, calculates a lot, takes his own sweet time, weighs the pros and cons, and that is possibly contributing to this rift in your relationship. The advice for you, you're in the Five of Pentacles energy. Maybe, your person is working really hard to give you what he can, and you feel it's not good enough. And this advice for you is to get out of your lack mindset and be happy with what you're getting. Maybe your person's trying his best, and this is all that he or she can offer you right now. Maybe they will, they're working so hard, and the Knight of Pentacles is solid energy. This person's really working. This person wants to do the best he or she can for you, but you seem to have a lack mindset, which you need to you want more. There's nothing wrong in wanting more, but you should also appreciate the other person's effort. If there's a person who doesn't go to work, he or she doesn't go to work or doesn't contribute in the house, then if this is what you feel, it's understandable. But if your person is contributing, then just because the person's not what you expect the person to be, that's actually being a little unfair, because you really can't marry someone who can't marry or be in a relationship with someone who's exactly like you. It doesn't work that way. The very fact that you've come together for whatever reason that you are together for so long, it's possibly because there is something you saw in one another. So very often what ruins relationships are expectations. So that's what you're being advised to guard against. And the advice for them is the Sun. Maybe they need to be a lot more, they're in the Knight of Pentacles energy, and that is, as I said, the slowest knight in the deck. This is earth energy, and maybe they need to embody a bit of the sun energy, a bit of the fire, and that fire will, maybe they need to be a little more passionate, and they need to show more warmth towards you, and that would help you come out of your mindset and be a little more committed to this relationship. Outside influences, Queen of Cups. It's possible a mother figure, maybe your mother or your person's mother, or some buddy who's either of you are very close to and look up to, who is actually advising you against this relationship. What I'd like you to keep in mind, whether it's your person or you, in a partnership, no third party should have a say in it. It's between you and your person. You may love your mother, you may love, this doesn't have to be a mother, basically it's a caring energy. So this person really cares for, whether it is for you or for your partner, this person cares a lot, but this person's interference is what is causing whoever's got a problem, and most likely I think it's your energy. The person you look up to really cares for you, but is not advising you correctly in this relationship, and maybe that is why you're finding more faults with your partner, is what I can get from the cards. Can this relationship be saved? You get the Knight of Wands. Well, your partner should get some of the sun energy, as your partner has been advised, and that will make your partner, from a conservative and hardworking, but a conservative outlook, he or she will come into a more passionate and warm and forthcoming energy, and that will get you out of this lack mindset. You'll feel more movement. I feel the thing that's putting you off is slow energy. You want something fast. You want, maybe you've been influenced by movies and you want that kind of romance and celebration and flamboyance, which you're not getting. So once your partner sees that, and you please, and what I've said for pile number 2, and I can see myself going to repeat this in all the piles, because it's extremely crucial in every relationship. Communication is the key to any and every relationship. If you don't keep your doors of communication open, and if you just expect the other person to read your mind, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to say it. And there are sometimes, there are some people who can just feel what you're thinking. They can feel your mood changes. Like for example, when you're even a bit upset, your mother will find out. She'll know there's something wrong. But if you expect your spouse to find out exactly like your mother does, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because, and there's nothing wrong there should be no ego that comes in the way when you want to express yourself. If you don't like something, please tell your partner you don't like something. And it's a two-way thing. If your partner doesn't like something, he or she should be able to tell you that they don't like something, or they expect something more from you. Because when you're in a relationship, you both are supposed to be the only ones who are there for each other, right? So if you are not able to keep an absolute transparent relationship, then it's not going to, you'll keep coming to roadblocks in your relationship. You have to keep communication open. Now the last card, whether this relationship is worth saving, you get the Hermit card. The Hermit card is a card of contemplation. You have to think about it. What I can see is that maybe you both need a break for a short while, maybe a few days, a week apart from each other, to think about it, to actually think about what you want. And whoever's under this influence of this mother figure, or whichever uh, person this is whom you really look up to, this person should be kept out of this dealing right now. What you need to do is spend some time apart from each other, think about everything. In fact, jot down your points. Tell your partner also to jot down the points. And then maybe you meet somewhere over coffee, or, like a date, like it was the beginning of your relationship, and discuss exactly what you want from each other, what you expect from each other. And please, uh, I have worked with a few couples who've had problems in their marriage, and in a lot many cases, the outside influence in the form of the girl's parents or family members, or the boy's parents and family members, or they are the ones that actually cause a lot of problem. What you should know, that in a relationship, there is nobody who has a say more than the two people involved in that relationship. And it could be any sort of relationship. The third person who comes in to that relationship can never solve your issues. Whatever it is, you keep your communication open and you sort this out. So you need to contemplate, and then you both mutually decide whether it is worth it and whether you're able to give it a fresh start. Every relationship is 50-50, and it takes two hands to clap. So you both have to change. And from what I see, it is not such a big deal. What's causing this, if this person is out of this equation, and if you're willing to just talk it out, I don't see any reason why this relationship cannot work. Because I don't see any major argument or any major problem in this relationship. I just see, in fact, I don't even see this Three of Cups as someone else. It's just that you are a kind of person who likes a little more visible forms of affection. You need partying, you need celebration, you need love that you can see, you need flowers, and you need to be taken out. And this person is conservative that way. He or she doesn't know how to show it that way. So you got to communicate this is what you want. And when you communicate, you don't communicate in anger or disgust. You communicate with love. You communicate about your requirements very sincerely. And I don't see, if there is love in this relationship, and I think there would be, I'm sure both of you will be willing to actually work on it. But you do need some time apart to process everything in your minds before you meet each other and work this out. And please don't take advice from this person, because this person may be very fond of you or your partner very much, but they are not helping this relationship. Now, the two advice cards you've got from nothing is yet set in stone. And that is so positive. So whatever your situation is temporary. It's in your hands. Keep this person out and decide for yourselves what you want. The second card you've got is balance, spirituality, and practicality. I don't see spirituality here so much, but yes, you've got to, your person is practical. You are in your head a lot, perhaps. You are maybe, you've got all these great ideas of romance, and you've got to balance it out. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. You need to give each other a chance. You need to understand two personalities can never be the same. There are differences, and that's what makes a relationship so interesting. It would be really boring if you both are exactly the same. So appreciate the other person, appreciate them, and give it a chance. And don't let any other person decide what is good for this relationship. is to be between the two of you. So that's all I have for you, pile number 2. We'll move on to pile number 3, those who chose the 5 of Swords. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot, and we've got 2 advice cards from the Moonology deck, which we'll take a look at the end of the reading. I'll just take a sip of water before we start. It's pretty warm out here, especially since I've got the fan off and the AC off, so that the recording doesn't have this noise. All right, this card represents your role in this relationship. What you did, what you didn't do, that has caused the situation to reach here. This card represents what your partner's role is or contribution is to this relationship, what your partner did or didn't do, which has led to your situation. This is an advice card for you, what you can do now to heal the relationship. This is advice for your partner, what they can do to improve and heal this relationship. Outside influences, friends, family, or other issues apart from the two of you that have influenced this connection. This card represents whether you can save this relationship. Can you rebuild upon this relationship and take it to where it was, or even better than what it was? And this last card tells you whether it's worth saving this relationship or not. So we start with, you get the World card. With this, I feel that your relationship has been going on for a while, and maybe you've come to the end of a cycle. Maybe you have repeated cycles in your relationship. You know, we'll just take a look at your partner's pile. Your partner gets the Queen of Swords. Your partner might be extremely to the point, curt in his or her way of communication. And that possibly doesn't gel with you. And whatever, when you talk about the world, you're talking about fixed signs. Maybe you are an Aquarius, a Leo, a Scorpio, or a Taurus. You know, these are the 4 fixed signs. Maybe you're one of them, and you've got fixed ideas, and you are resistant to change. The Queen of Swords embodies the energy of Libra. Now, Libra energy is such that they can be really, while they are balanced, they can be ruthless when it comes to communication. And maybe that is what doesn't gel with you. And the more ruthless they are, the more stubborn you get. This could be the cause of the rift in your relationship. Advice for you is to embody the King of Cups energy. The King of Cups is a person who's got his emotions in control. He has a lot of emotion, but he doesn't let it show. In other words, he doesn't react. He thinks and he responds. This is the advice for you. I feel when this kind of communication happens to you, you become extremely stubborn and you get all emotional, and there may be outbursts, and that's what you need to control, and that's the advice for you, that just let the storm that's brewing inside you pass before you open your mouth. Keep your emotions in check. The advice for them is the Sun. This is the 3rd reading in which the Sun has come, and it's come for the partner. And what they need to do is to embody positivity. So they need to bring some more sunshine into their communication. Instead of being blunt to the point, they should be a little more warm in the way they communicate. If there is an issue which you don't see, it the same way, if you're on opposing sides of the argument, they ought to bring some more warmth in the way they communicate to you, in the sense that they can say, no, I know you want it this way, but I don't really think that's good, and it could be done this way, instead of saying that you're talking nonsense. I always say, in fact, in my own relationship, I always say that, especially for the woman, especially for the feminine energy, it makes a lot of difference what the tone is like. If the tone is bad, even if someone's saying something positive, but if the tone is off, it can really put someone off. I know for a fact that it puts me off completely. Even if there's a slight change of tone, and I feel that the person who's talking to me is being condescending or belittling, or even if there's some sort of sarcasm, it just puts me off. And yes, I plead guilty. I am an Aquarius. I am a fixed sign, and I don't like it. So if that's the kind of communication you get, so your partner has to tone that down a little bit, and you've also got to tone down your reaction. And I can tell you that meditation really helps. All right, now let's go on to outside influences. For outside influences, you get equal give and take. This doesn't seem as much as an outward influence, unless there is someone who, out of ego, does not ask their partner either ways and asks for help from someone outside the relationship. If that is happening either by you or by your partner, that should stop. You are there for each other, and the equal give and take should be from you to one another, and you do not really need anybody else to contribute to either you or your partner, to make things work. So this energy which is there, which is coming as outside influence, should be the energy that you both embody, and then things will be a lot better. Can you save this relationship? For that, you get the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is a person who's independent, wants to be as you can see, she's standing in her power. She doesn't need anybody. She wants to be on her own. She doesn't feel the need for a relationship. I'd like to check this last card before I talk about this. The last card is the Knight of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Swords, when the Knight of Swords upright, it's a person who comes forward, who rushes in with communication, and the communication could be blunt. In reverse, for it to come as whether it's worth saving it or not, I think you can, because when it's in reverse, basically it means that if your communication is a little calmer than what it normally is, you can actually save this relationship, and it can help the two of you. So you've got very beautiful advice cards. One's got the Sun and one's got the King of Cups. And actually speaking, in this pile, again, like I've said in the previous pile, there isn't such a big issue here. The issue is only ego. And if this ego battle is resolved, I think your relationship should run smoothly. This whole problem is when the ego comes in. So, and it's because of your ego maybe that both of you are in this energy right now. I don't need you to fulfill me, and I don't need you to fulfill me, which is such a lovely thing if you look at it, because if you're both independent and you're not dependent on the other person to fulfill you, meaning you're not needy, that's such a wonderful place to be. Now, the only problem is because you both are independent, at the drop of the hat, your swords are drawn and you battle against each other. But you're in a relationship. You're not here to prove that you're right and the other person's wrong. You're here to be, to have a partnership, to move together happily. And all that I see that's wrong in this relationship or that's causing this rift is just your ego. One person is blunt and the other person is reactive. And it's all in your hands. There isn't such a major outside influence. Even if whatever this influence is, if someone's helping one or the other person, you can always do away with it. See, as a rule, I feel that there is no business anyone else has between two people who are in a relationship. So, and this doesn't look like, someone who's like for pile number 1, there was deception. But pile number 2 and pile number 3, I don't see it being such a major issue at all. This pile is all about ego, communication and reaction to that communication. And it's worth your while to work on it. It's not such a big deal. I mean, you give yourself, first talk it out without ego, and just think about this relationship that you've had. And it seems to be a long time since you've had a relationship. This is not a new relationship. And just think, is it really, these years that you've spent together or months that you've spent together, what are the good things that you've got from it? Is it really worth letting go of this connection because your egos are so high and you both are so incompatible that you can't see eye to eye on anything? If it is that bad, then you've got to take a call. But what I personally feel, I think if your ego issues, all you have to do is just tone down the way you communicate to each other, and instead of reacting, you need to respond. I'm being repetitive, but that is all that I can see in this pile. There's nothing else wrong with this relationship. And to let a relationship go for something as trivial as ego, it's really not worth it, because you'll take the same ego into the next relationship that you go to. So you might as well work on this relationship. Obviously, if you come together, there was some spark, and you can get that spark back if you just keep your ego out of the way. You've got 2 advice cards from the Moonology deck. One is look at the bigger picture. So just, this is something which, in fact, my husband keeps telling me, whenever things seem, you can't find a solution to something, just zoom out and just look at it like, take a overall view. And then you find that these are actually very minor problems that you're facing right now, and you can always do away with it. And the second card you got is your dreams need a practical plan. This could possibly mean this 9 of Pentacles energy. Maybe one or both of you feel that you don't need the other person and you can live your life on your own in whichever way, and then you do your own thing. But you can still you can actually stand in your power even if and do your own thing even if you are in a relationship. But you just need to work things out so it works for both of you. And all I see in this relationship, the only thing that's wrong is your ego. Once that's sorted, this relationship will be back on track. And I think it will be a wonderful relationship because as I see it, I think you're equals, possibly intellectual equals, and you're doing well in whatever areas of life you're working or whichever way you are. You both are very confident individuals is what comes across to me. So these are really small issues that can be worked on. So that's all I have for you, pile number 3. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope you can work out your differences. There's nothing like getting a relationship back together if it can make both of you happy. There's no point sticking with any relationship if it doesn't bring you happiness. You can't compromise. I mean, you have to compromise in a relationship, but it shouldn't be just from one person. Both have to compromise. Now, coming to the last pile, pile number 4, those who chose the 5 of Pentacles. Using the Sun and Moon Tarot, and we've got advice cards from the Moonology deck. I think only pile number 1 had 1 advice card. The rest of you have got 2 advice cards. This card represents your contribution to the relationship, what you did or you didn't do to make this relationship, to get this relationship to where it is today. This is your partner's role or contribution to this relationship, what they did or didn't do to bring this relationship to this level. Your advice, how to heal or improve the relationship. Advice for your partner, how they can heal and improve this relationship. Outside influences, if any, that affect this relationship. Whether this relationship can be saved. And last of all, whether this relationship is worth saving. Your energy is the Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. I'd like to look at your person's energy before I talk about your energy. Theirs is the Wheel of Fortune. I'd like to open all the cards because I can't see any problem in the relationship as I just look at it. Advice card for you is the 6 of Cups, and the advice card for them is the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. Outside influences, Prince of Pentacles. Okay. I don't see any issue in this pile at all. There seems to be a fated connection. The advice your partner gets is to have equal give and take. So maybe your partner is not giving you as much as they should. Maybe you're offering them the cup of love, which they do not reciprocate as much. I'd like to take a look at all the cards. You both seem very unsure in this relationship. I have a feeling, and it's not your person so much as it is you. I have a feeling that you haven't gotten over a past relationship. And that past relationship seems to be a soulmate connection. Maybe it's this Prince of Pentacles, and that's what's causing a problem in this relationship. And you're not sure about this Prince of Pentacles, but your person can sense it. And your person obviously doesn't like it. And that's why your person's not giving you the love that you're offering. Maybe you're trying to make a new start, but your person doesn't feel the connection. And maybe that's why your advice card was to look into whether you really want to be in this relationship or you want to think again. There's a lot of confusion, I feel, on both your sides, whether you want to save this relationship or not. And would it be worth it? You get the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about self-limiting thoughts and beliefs. So it's all in your minds, what you're thinking, what you want. I don't see a rift per se, but I don't see a connect between the two of you as much. I'll take a look at the advice cards. Your commitment is being tested. There you go. That's exactly what it's looking like. I don't know whether you're really committed to one another. I don't see the connect. And you have the next advice card you have is be bold and make the first move. And this again talks to me about the Six of Cups. Maybe you're in a relationship which happened because of reasons out of your control and you've come together. Maybe this was your person gets the Wheel of Fortune. So maybe this was a karmic relationship you had to go through. And maybe you have been trying, but I don't see a connect here in this relationship so much. There's a lot of confusion. I think you might like to think about this relationship, whether it's going to help you. Because if you are in two minds, and I feel this confusion is on your side. There is someone from your past and you're undecided. Maybe you think that you have decided, but there's something about you that's not letting your partner give to you completely because they feel that you are not fully into this relationship. And that's why your commitment is being tested. So you have to make it clear in your mind what you want. Because it's not right for you to keep your partner waiting, either partner waiting. You should be clear as to what you want. Listen to your intuition. And that can save a whole lot of lives, you know. If you want to go to this person, then your partnership, you can make it solid. If you know what you want, then things can really progress ahead fast. faster, and it can be solid. But if you really don't know what you want, then you're keeping three of you are just hanging without knowing what to do. And that's what I can sense from this. It's a very uncomfortable sort of energy that, you're not fully into this connection. And I feel that confusion is from your side, but your partner is extremely perceptive and your partner can pick that up. You may not know that this is the energy you're exuding, but your partner is able to pick it up. So I think you ought to get in touch with your intuition and see whether you really want to save this relationship. And it does not matter. If you really find your love is here, then it's better to be honest. There will be unpleasantness, it won't be good, but at least at the end of the day, you're letting your partner decide and move to live a full life, and you get to live a full life yourself. At this way, it's uncomfortable when you've not made a decision. So be bold, make the first move, decide what you want. Maybe it's your partner that you want. Maybe you're just contemplating, but you really don't want to go here. It's up to you, but you need to decide. And you need to decide not because society will expect you to stay here, not because that's the right thing to do, but follow your heart, follow your intuition. Are you being fulfilled in this relationship, and are you able to give that the same in return? Or is your happiness with this particular person who's your Six of Cups, who may be your soulmate? Is this person who gives you happiness? You've got to decide, and you've got to be brave enough to make that move. You owe yourself happiness just as you owe everybody else happiness. You think honestly what you want and then act accordingly. Whatever, and don't think about what if this person will feel bad or that person will feel bad. You think about yourself. If you're really honest and true, then the universe finds its way to make things right for everybody. So you don't worry about that, but make a decision. Don't keep everyone hanging. So that's all I have for you, pile number 4. I hope this helped. This was a little unclear reading for me. I think it's unclear for you as well. So that's all I have for you. If the readings resonated with you, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Last but not the least, I'd like to reiterate the point that for any partnership, any relationship, there are 3 important things. Number 1 is trust, number 2 is mutual respect, and number 3 is love. Yes, love comes at number 3. And any issue, any problem can be resolved if you have open communication. All relationships are about 50%, 50-50, 50% from both sides. There is no 80-20. There is no 60-40. It has to be 50-50, equal give and take. Equal give and take, mutual respect, trust, love, and communication. It's not too much. It isn't too much at all. And if it is for something as beautiful as a relationship, a long-term relationship, then it's worth it. So with that, I come to the end of this pick a card reading. I hope it helps you, and I hope you all find love and you find the perfect partner to have the most beautiful days of your lives.